Right now, somewhere, a creator is paying a monthly subscription to turn text into a voice, and a second subscription to turn their voice into text. Two bills for the two halves of one loop. This week, a single free app that does both became one of the fastest rising projects on all of GitHub. And after digging through it properly, here's the honest truth. The gap between free and paid just got uncomfortably small for the companies charging rent on your voice. It's called Voicebox. It clones a voice from a few seconds of audio, speaks 23 languages through 7 different AI engines, types what you dictate into any app on your computer, and, here's the part almost nobody has noticed, it can give a voice to your AI agents, all of it running locally on your machine with nothing ever touching a cloud server, MIT licensed, free forever. In the next few minutes, what Voicebox actually is, the 2 paid products it replaces at once, the 7 engines under the hood explained in plain English, the sleeper feature for agent builders, the honest limits, and a section this topic absolutely requires about the responsible way to use a tool that can copy a human voice. All of it, as always, verified against the official documentation. Let's start with the smartest thing about this project, what it decided to be. Most open source voice tools pick one job: text-to-speech or transcription, or a research model with a demo page. Voicebox looked at the market differently. Its own documentation frames it this way. The 2 cloud incumbents each own half of the voice loop. Elevenlabs owns output, turning text into speech, and tools like Whisperflow own input, turning your speech into text. Voicebox does both halves in one app, bridges them with a bundled local language model, and runs the entire loop on your machine. One install replaces 2 subscriptions. That's the pitch, and structurally, it's accurate. Start with the output half, the Elevenlabs side. Voice cloning in Voicebox is 0 shot. You provide a short reference sample, a few seconds of clean audio, and the model captures the voice. No training run, no fine-tuning session, no upload to anyone's server. If you'd rather not clone anything, it ships with over 50 curated preset voices, and it speaks 23 languages, from English and Spanish to Arabic, Japanese, Hindi, and Swahili. Under the hood, this is where Voicebox gets genuinely clever. Instead of betting on one AI model, it runs 7 text-to-speech engines side by side: Qwen 3TTS, Chuen 3TTS, and Qwen Custom Voice from Alibaba's open model family, Lux TTS, 2 versions of Chatterbox, Hume AI's Tada, Ta-Da, and Kokoro, Kokoro. Why does that matter? Because open source voice models each have personalities. One clones timbre beautifully, another nails emotional delivery, another is lightweight enough to run on modest hardware. A multi-engine studio means you pick the right instrument per job, and when a better open model drops next month, and in 2026, one always drops next month, it slots in as engine number 8. The architecture even includes a step-by-step integration guide written so that an AI coding agent can add a new engine autonomously. The tool that gives agents a voice was partly built to be extended by them. Let that one sink in. And the expressiveness has caught up to the paid world's party tricks. Bracket tags like laugh, sigh, and gasp drop paralinguistic sounds into the speech, and the custom voice engine takes delivery directions in plain natural language, calmer, faster, more excited. On top of everything sits a post-processing rack, pitch shift, reverb, delay, chorus, compression, filters, small DAW-style effects in a timeline editor built for multi-voice projects. This isn't a demo page with a generate button, it's a studio. Now flip to the input half, the Whisperflow side, because this is the feature you'd actually touch 50 times a day. Voicebox installs a global dictation hotkey. Press it in any application, your editor, your browser, your email, speak, and your words are transcribed straight into whatever text field has focus. A small floating pill on screen shows the states: recording, transcribing, refining, done. And that refining step is the quiet gem. The bundled local language model optionally cleans your speech before it lands, removing the ums, the stutters, the false starts. So what appears is the sentence you meant, not the sentence you mumbled. People pay real monthly money for exactly this workflow. Here it's a checkbox, running offline. And then there's the sleeper feature, the one that connects directly to everything this channel covers. Voicebox speaks MCP, the Model Context Protocol, the standard that lets AI agents use tools, which means any MCP-aware agent can be given a voice of your choosing, your coding agent finishing a long task and telling you out loud in a voice you picked or cloned, your research agent reading its summary to you while you make coffee. For everyone building the agent workflows we talk about here every week, this is the missing output device, and it's sitting in a free repo. The whole thing is a native desktop app, built on Tauri, with CUDA acceleration on Windows and Apple's MLX framework on Apple Silicon, plus a full REST API, so your own scripts and apps can generate speech locally with a single call. Getting it is as simple as the download on the project's site, or cloning the repository and running 2 setup commands if you like building from source. So, the honest limits, because there are real ones, and this channel doesn't do infomercials. First, quality. Is it identical to the paid flagship voices? That's a judgment your own ears should make, and it varies by engine and by voice. What's fair to say, the gap that used to be a canyon is now a crack. For dictation, agents, drafts, prototypes, and a large share of narration work, open models crossed the good enough line some time ago. For the last 5% of Polish on flagship commercial work, the paid services still hold ground, for now. The trajectory, though, only points one direction, and you've watched that same movie on this channel with coding models all month. Second, hardware. Local means your machine does the work. The heavier engines want a decent GPU or Apple Silicon. Lighter engines like Kokoro run happily on modest setups. If your computer is 10 years old, the cloud subscription still buys you someone else's data center. Third, youth. This project is months old and moving at open source speed. The engine list literally grew mid-development. Expect rough edges, fast fixes, and a living roadmap. Real-time synthesis, multi-speaker conversations, a plug-in architecture, and a mobile companion are all on the published board, not all in your hands today. And fourth, the section this topic demands, a serious word about responsibility. A tool that can copy a human voice from seconds of audio is powerful, and power has rules. The legitimate uses are obvious and wonderful. Your own voice, preserved and scaled, narrating your content, reading your writing back to you, giving your tools your voice. Voices of people who have given you clear, informed consent. The 50-plus preset voices that exist precisely so you don't need to clone anyone. Where the line sits is just as obvious. Cloning a real person's voice without their consent, to impersonate, to deceive, to harass, or to put words in their mouth, is off the table and, depending on where you live, increasingly against the law, with regulations tightening around voice likeness rights in multiple countries. The privacy-first design here actually helps you stay on the right side. Because nothing leaves your machine, the only person responsible for what gets made is the person at the keyboard. Treat a cloned voice like a signature, yours to use, someone else's only with permission, in writing. And if you publish content made with an AI voice, disclosing it costs you nothing and buys you trust. So what's the honest bottom line, and who should install this today? If you pay monthly for text-to-speech, dictation, or both, the math is brutal and simple. Run your own numbers out loud. A mid-tier voice subscription plus a dictation subscription can easily total $300 to $500 a year. Every year, forever, with usage caps on top. Voicebox is zero, uncapped, and private. Even if you keep a paid service for your final flagship renders, a completely reasonable hybrid, and the honest one for many creators today. Moving your drafts, iterations, and daily dictation to the free local tool cuts, the metered usage that actually drives those bills. The same 80-20 strategy we applied to coding models works on voice, free for the volume, paid only where the last polish genuinely matters to you. One more detail worth knowing, this isn't an anonymous drive-by repo. It comes from Jamie Pine, a developer with a track record of ambitious open-source apps, with a public living roadmap, contribution guidelines, and an issue triage document that reads like a real product team's board. Young project, yes. Abandoned weekend experiment, clearly not. Creators get a voice studio. Developers get a local speech API and voiced agents. Writers get dictation with a built-in editor. Non-English speakers get 23 languages without per-character billing. And privacy-sensitive users get the only architecture where a voice recording genuinely cannot leak from a server, because there is no server. Step back, and you can see the bigger pattern this channel has been tracking all month, now claiming another territory. First, the models went open, GLM, Kimi. Then the coding agents went open. Now the voice layer is going open, and it's arriving the same way the others did. Not as a toy, but as a studio, MIT licensed, moving faster than the incumbents can cut prices. Piece by piece, the entire AI stack is becoming something you can own. Weights on your drive, agents in your terminal, and now a voice that lives on your machine instead of on a meter. So here's my question for you, and I'll pin it below. What's the last paid AI tool left in your stack? The one that still doesn't have an open source twin good enough to switch to? Name it in the comments. I read everything, and the most named tool becomes a future video. Because if this month proved anything, it's that the twin is probably already sitting on GitHub waiting. Every link, the Voicebox repository, the official site, and docs, and the engines mentioned, is in the description, so you can verify every claim and try it yourself today. That's the standard on this channel. If you want the free, open source side of AI explained honestly, limits included, every single day, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.